Now, what can you explain what sort of vibe did you have?
No, it was just. I think it was more to do with our mental state at the time. I mean, making that record, and then the room took on the personality of the crisis in the band.
How long was the crisis?
How long does it take to make that record? About a year?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. That whole, I drank too much. I was drinking too much to really pay attention to the time.
Yeah.
Was it during the recording that you had a crisis, and then afterwards it was good again?
No, it just wasn't. It just wasn't a particularly enjoyable period. That was all. It wasn't. I mean, I'm kind of blowing it up by saying crisis.
What was it for you?
The studio. What was negative about it? And as a building, I think there are certain buildings that are. I've heard this term "sick buildings" before. Buildings that have maybe a bad air circulation, or on a superstitious level, some terrible event has happened there, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody had been murdered in that room at some point. Or,
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like it's got a really, really bad vibe about it. And I felt it as soon as I walked into the room. I was like, I just don't want to be in here. I just do not like this room. But Nick, our guitarist, had already hired the room and set up all his gear, and we just kind of went along with it. And I really wish I hadn't, because your instincts are usually right when in a human relationship and in your circumstances. You know when somewhere's good and when somewhere's not.
What did you do now, and where did you actually?
Various places. I think. Well, writing. I mean, Nick and Alex be in London. I guess you go to each other's houses and stuff, and my flight in Glasgow a couple of times, and then Nick has a little studio in London now called Sausage Studios, and Alex has got one in Scotland called Black Pudding, which we would use, and it was just a nice vibe. But it was just also we would use them for shorter periods of time. So we go, let's go down for 5 days and record this song, and then we'll go away again, and then we'll come back again, rather than going somewhere every day, for until it's finished. And you can't. You
can't, I think it was the endless. You can't leave. That's what was terrible. I have to say, like the recording of this album is as far removed from recording the last album as could possibly be. Like, I really enjoyed it, whereas making Tonight, I really didn't enjoy it at all.
Do you like the songs of Tonight?
There's a couple that I really enjoy playing live.
I think there's a couple of good songs on that.
I really enjoy playing Ulysses live. I really enjoy playing Know Your Girls live. Can't Stop Feeling's really good fun live. I used to like playing Bite Hard as well. Live Alone. I think it's good songs. I haven't, as for the actual sound of the record itself, I haven't listened to it. I don't listen to records after we've made them, unless it's by mistake when I walk into a bar or
And can you tell if the songwriting of that album, was it influenced by that room, or is it just all the songs separate entities, and it's just your own imagination that?
I think they probably were influenced by the room to a degree, and also we wrote in a different way when we were writing on that record. That record was made by jamming, not all of it, but so. In fact, the songs that I do really like are the ones that weren't made by jamming. Mm-hmm. Duh. Yeah, like Ulysses was written at my house with me and Nick on the piano, both playing the piano together, and it's got a life and a flexibility to it, which a song like, I don't know, some of the other ones maybe don't have, which were just jammed in the room until we were not just sick of the songs, but sick of existence.
In hindsight, there are 10 songs on the album, on this album. Can you tell where were the most songs written and recorded? In what studio?
Oh, it's spread about all over the place. So
it's quite evenly spread, I think. I mean, Black Pudding had the most writing and recording in one place.
Probably mainly Black Pudding, and then a little bit in Stockholm.
Yeah, it seemed like we did a lot in Mark Ralph, because a lot of mixing. We did a lot of mixing there as well, and Club Ralph, and things were finished and overdubbed and stuff there. And because also the Alexis and Joe stuff were recorded in Club Ralph as well as some of our own songs.
Yeah.
Then, the album title, we already briefly mentioned it, but maybe we can tell a little bit more about it. It's a line from the song Right Action. What is that song about?
Right. Well, the song started off with a postcard that I found. I was at Brick Lane Market, which is a flea market in London, and there was what looked like an estate sale when when somebody's died, all their belongings are sold off, and there was a postcard, and on it were the words. Yeah, there's a whole collection of postcards, and this was the only one in the whole collection that had anything written on it. Everything else was blank, and the only message was, "Come home, practically all is nearly forgiven," and I bought the postcard and went back to Nick's flat. I was like, "This is amazing. This is exactly what a lyric should be," because in very few words, you're suggesting situations, you're suggesting characters. You're not defining them completely, but your imagination when you hear about them runs away. Like who's forgiven and why are they nearly forgiven, not completely forgiven, and why is it not everything, not all, but practically all? And I thought it summed up the situations that we find in life, where we very rarely feel one emotion purely. We always feel an emotion that's qualified by another emotion, and so we try to create this mood in the song by switching between minor and major key from bar to bar. So it switches in this kind of unpredictable pattern. But pattern suggests it's predictable. Anyway, and then we wrote the chorus as the answer to that. So you have this a question, and then I suppose the chorus is like an answer, but it isn't really an answer. It's more an attitude to how you deal with that conflict. Yeah. Maybe conflict is too strong a word, but qualifying, contrasting sensations. I don't know.
And if you, well, then you, at the end of the album, then you needed an album title. How did the process go? Did you read through all the lyrics, or?
There was we generally looked to the lyrics and to the songs that were on the record, and there were a few contenders, but this one just seemed to be the right one.
Yeah, we were talking about it. The Universe Expanded was maybe going to be a title at one point as well.
Yeah.
There's a song called The Universe Expanded.
Well, I think Evil Eye was muted as well, but that's like the opposite. Calling a record Evil Eye is like the opposite of calling something Right Thoughts, Right Words, Right Action. Much better to be positive.
It could be maybe the last record. But
Yeah.
But then Right Thoughts, Right Words, Right Action. Who said, well, maybe we can pick this one? Who?
Probably you.
I don't know. I can't really remember. It's usually discussion, and then I can't remember distinctly.
And what does it say for you? This album title for this album, Thoughts, Words, Action. Huh?
It's a pretty good way of going through life. And it's simple. It's simple and direct, and it's bold, and it is positive, of course. But the simplicity is an illusion as well, because if you take that simple idea, you can apply it in many different contexts, and it has a different impact in the different contexts.
But when do you know when things are right? Right thoughts, right words, right action.
You know it instinctively, and so if I'd relied on my instincts 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have gone into that studio where we recorded tonight. And so you always know instinctively how to apply the right thoughts and the right words and the right action. You have an internal barometer, is that the right word?
Yeah, but you have it, but sometimes you don't listen to it, or sometimes you are far away from it. Are you always close to that?
I try to be. I'm always happier when I do. I think you always regret it if you ignore it, if you ignore your instinct.
Were you close to breaking up?
Probably. I think we're probably close to not making another record, or not wanting to.
We did certainly talk. So we want to either break the band up or make a very good record, and we decided to make a record.
Will there be another one?
Who knows?
Ah, yeah,
Who
see how we
knows?
feel after